Hello, people. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Tony, the missing Tony Pizza Man. 48 hours ago, he was on his he was on his way to Pennsylvania, and seems to have never gotten there, or he's swimming with the fishes. I don't know which one it is. But the last time we seen Tony, he was sitting in his car, counting out $4,000 in cash, saying that he's no longer living with his mom, and he's on the road in his car, and he was threatening to go to Pennsylvania to go visit uh, FBS. But something happened along the way. He got lost. Did he pass a bar and pull over? And is he still there 2 days later? And the main reason I'm talking about this because it's very odd. Let me play this, and let me tell you why it's odd. First, let me play this.
I came down with the raindrops. I came out of nowhere. I'm glad you guys think that. Because you're going to have to go eyes behind your head now that you fucking did all that talking about me. Because I got a lot of love out there and a lot of people. And I got arms all over this country. So good luck with yourselves. I'm on my way to Pennsylvania later on today. I'll come back later with another video. Have a great day, folks. And I'm up at 805 subscribers now in only 3.5 weeks. Meanwhile, I don't have the technology to go faking my subscribers like Fat Bold Sicilian.
Okay, well, I don't want to play that part because we know that FBS is not faking his subscribers. It doesn't matter how we feel about each other. You cannot say that. The man earned his subscribers. But Tony, I'm worried about you, man. Where did you go? You came out here like gangbusters. And what makes this more really strange is the fact that you're about at 1,000 subscribers now. I mean, you got where you want to go, and you've literally disappeared. And it's not like you're at home and you disappeared. You were on the road. And you said you were heading toward Pennsylvania to go visit FBS. So do we need to put an APB out on this guy? I mean, is he okay? Why don't you let your the people that enjoy your show and got you to 1,000 subscribers, let them know how you're doing, Tony. Because that whole 3-4 days of you speaking was kind of different than most of the genre is used to hear, and got a kick out of it. But then you just disappeared. Last time I remember is you driving around, and then you had FBS driving around, showing the signs where he is. And I just find that quite funny, people. As long as you're okay, Tony, I find it funny, unless you got pulled over and they pulled you in, they found a warrant, something. But give us a sign, Tony. Let us know you're okay. Okay. So I also want to get on to another part of this video. I want to talk about Sammy Gravano. Now, people know I've done some videos on the death of Alan Kaiser and my disdain for Sammy Gravano. But the reality is this. Sammy Gravano is the king of the podcast right now in this genre. He's above everybody. And that includes Michael Francis, because Michael Francis has a totally different type of podcast. I don't even know if you can call it mafia genre. He's more mainstream. Sammy's not. And his show just keeps growing and growing and growing. And you got to give Sammy credit because he picks and chooses. Like, I'll give you an example. The people he has around him, he picks people that he knows he can control. And I'm not going to give no names, but those are the people that he picks. And then he says things and gets away with it. It's like he's really the Teflon Don. because of the fact that he seems to have gotten away with a lot in his life. I mean, for all the murders he's committed and everything I've been part of, he did 4 years for him at most. And then he went to jail on the drug charges. He did just about the regular time on those drug charges that a person would do. But the reality is that he himself he's 75 years old and he's been going out there. And then I did another show where I talked about how he was bashing John Gotti Sr. and nobody would seem to be defending John Gotti Sr. from the Gotti family. And I was trying to figure out why they're not defending him. And then after thinking about it a little bit, I think it's quite obvious. They fear him because it's not about John Sr. no more. It's about John Jr. And John Jr. is supposed to be going about this Wisek Mafia thing and a couple other projects and stuff. And Sammy now is so powerful that all Sammy has to do is get on his podcast and start saying that John Jr. was a rat. It doesn't matter whether you think he's a rat or not. Everybody's different and has their opinion on that, including me. And I'm just trying to put the facts out there, what's going on with this right now, because it seems very weird that nobody seems to be protecting John Gotti Sr. from the insults that he received from Gravano, not even his family. And I think that the main reason for that is that they know right now it's all about John Jr. And, Senior, he's not here no more. So they got to protect what's here now, and they're protecting John Jr. and they're protecting him from Sammy Gravano. It just goes to show you how much power Sammy Gravano has now with his podcast. It's like they won't dare go after him, and he could say whatever he wants about John Gotti at this point, Senior. They are worried about John Jr. and they know that Sammy can knock that all down. So when Wisek Mafia comes out, will they go after Sammy in that? I have a funny feeling they won't. I might be wrong. But why would you go after a guy that's that powerful? A guy that can humiliate you right on his podcast? So many people listen to Gravano, even people like myself who don't like him or what he's about. I mean, I still watch him go and do some of these interviews, and they're very entertaining because he has the gift of gab. Well, I just want to pull something up here, and we'll play a couple minutes. It's from Variety. I hope that I don't get copyrighted on this, but what the hell? Let me take a chance here. I'm going to play you something that Rudy Giuliani said about John Gotti and how Sammy stuck up for John Gotti. And that's a rarity because usually he's attacking John Gotti. But I guess when it comes to the law, or what he considers the law, he's going to defend one of his people. But he says something real silly in this, Sammy Gravano. I want to see if you can catch it. I'm only going to play a couple minutes of this.
Gotti was a guy who liked killing. There's something sinister and sadistic about John Gotti.
You believe that?
Mm-hmm. I know that.
How about Sammy?
Don't know.
Okay.
Don't know.
What do you think about what he had to say?
I don't know. I think he looked gay when he was. I don't know. Fucking mouth up in the air. I don't know.
Look, that's what I'm talking about. Sammy, he gets away with things. You're like we all know that he's not all about civil rights with all the racist stuff that goes on in his previous life, and now he uses the F word, and these people look surprised, but none of them are going to take him up on it. That's just Sammy. He's Teflon. I mean, it don't matter. He's going to say whatever he wants. It's part of his. It's part of who he is now. He's allowed to say what he wants because people look at him and say, "Okay, this guy's a killer," and he's going to just say these things.
What the fuck?
You're not a fan of Rudy.
I'm not a fan of Rudy. No,
Okay.
I'm not a fan of Rudy. Listen, I'm not against cops and prosecutors. I'm against when you think what you did is harmless. You're an Italian. He's an Italian, I assume, right? What you did to your own kind on many occasions, you have no flaws.
Okay, this is where Sammy's talking out his ass. What he did to his own kind because he's Italian, he's not supposed to go after other Italians. And then he talks about Giuliani hurting the Italian people. What did people like Sammy Gravano do to the Italian people in their neighborhoods? When they extorted money for their businesses, when they dealt drugs in the neighborhoods? And yes, drugs. They've been dealing drugs for 50 years now. That myth otherwise is bullshit. But, I think it's kind of ironic that Sammy is saying that Giuliani should have never went after his own people when Sammy lived in neighborhoods where groups of Italian men terrorized Italian men or women. That's just who they were.
Your mom and dad was perfect, depending on their upbringing. That's an insult to me. My upbringing was impeccable from my family. I'm the total opposite of what they were. And I don't think so. I think I got a good side. And I think I got the good side from them. But when you sit down and you make judgments like that, I don't know. Of course, he don't know me from a fucking hole in the wall. So he can't really make a proper decision. He actually says nice things about Michael. Michael must have paid him off to say these fucking things. But he said some nice things about Michael. But I don't like...
Racketeers have money.
Yeah. Racketeers have money. So he's looking at a racketeer. So anyway, what I was going to say is that the part of saying he looked up to his father, that's a good thing. But not that father. So he's knocking his father. So I don't think that's a good thing to even say. If you liked him and he did a good thing and he said a good thing, I think Sonny was a good thing, a good father, in a good way.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
In a different way, he was a gangster. He was the ultimate type of gangster. He didn't instill anything negative in a way. I think he instilled that he loved them in his way. I don't think I instilled anything negative to my son and my daughter. I probably did in our way. Maybe your mother and father, or your mother and father had.
Sammy doesn't live in the land of reality. It's quite obvious for him to say that he didn't do anything bad to his children. I mean, he was part of a drug ring with his children. And this is the perfect example of a narcissist. But that's just Sammy. He doesn't care what people think about him, what people hear when he talks. He just doesn't care. And he's always been that way. It's starting to look to me that like the wrong person was running the Gambinos when you really think about it. Maybe Sammy should have been running the family because he seemed more untouchable than John Gotti in the end. They can say Teflon Don and everything, but John Gotti went to prison and died in prison. And Sammy only went to prison for 4 years for everything that he did related to the mafia. Okay.
Put something in your mind in a way, and we're going to blame them because you're not 100% like he wants you to be. I don't buy that. Now, there's a lot of things your mother and father teach you that are wrong, but they mean well. There's a difference. He don't understand that. They'll tell a girl what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're wrong. Maybe it won't work for them. But they meant well. Now the times change. So it may not work out well for the girl or the guy or whatever. When you get into families and you talk about families and things like that, each person is an individual. Nobody does exactly like their mother and father teaches them. Nobody does.
You know, if you go back and watch any of Sammy Gravano's interviews that he's done recently, in every instance when he goes into a room and starts talking to these people, he takes control of the room. People look at him and watch him talk. He is a master at speaking and telling a story and controlling a room. That's part of being a leader. So it's obvious that this guy is a leader. And I don't agree with what he says about John Gotti going to jail and dying in jail because of his snitching. But it's like I also said, none of us know what we're going to do until we're put in that position. So we can all say whatever we want to say, but we don't know the answer to that. But I find Sammy to be a very fascinating character. He reminds me of the type of guy that's out there all by himself. He doesn't want nobody around him. And whoever he has around him are people that he knows he can control. To me, he's probably just loyal to his daughter and his son. And after that, he doesn't give a hoot. And he's going to make as much money off of this because that's what Sammy does his whole life. He knows how to make money, whether he controlled the unions, whatever rackets, loan sharking, anything that he's controlled. He's always been very profitable at what he's done. And if you just look at what's going on right now, you would say to yourself, why are the Gottis not even talking about this man? It's very obvious why they're not talking about this man, because they're scared of this man. They may not want to hear that, but it's the truth. Now, when you have, say, half a million, more than 500,000 people watching you, and some of your videos hit 1 million, you know, he goes on shows where he gets 1 million views of people watching him. He could literally start a public relations disaster for the Gottis just by speaking negatively about John Gotti. And who knows why he's not. He might stay that way. He might have his reasons. But I think that's one thing the Gottis think about is we don't want Sammy going after us because we know what's going to happen if he does. He has the megaphone. He's a very, very powerful man now. And I don't think we're going to see anyone like him for one simple reason. Sure, he's a rat, and you have a lot of rats that have come out. But he's by far the most powerful of all the rats. I mean, you're talking an underboss here. So who is going to even come close to him when they come out of prison? You know, he's 75 years old. You hear he's not healthy and stuff. But if you look at him and if you watch him go into these rooms where he does these shows, he seems like he gets around damn well for a 75-year-old man. So he might be doing this for another 10 years solid. And, you know, if he's going to do it for another 10 years solid, he's just going to grow. His podcast is going to grow and grow and grow. And he will find his crew along the way. But anybody he finds up for his crew will be people that he can control because that's who he is. Sammy doesn't want anybody around him that's smart. You know, he figures his daughter and his son are smart. He doesn't need anybody else around him that is smart and can think about what they're doing, what he's doing. Another thing, when he came out and attacked John A-Light, just think about it. He didn't attack John A-Light for a while. And then he said that John A-Light paid him some money to talk highly of him. And he explained why. We don't even know if that story is true. But the fact of the matter is he did come out and he did say this and see what he did to John A-Light. People were like, he paid John A-Light. Right away, they believed him. And they don't even know if what he's saying is true or he's just trying to be show who the boss is. And right now, he's the boss. He's the boss of the podcast. No one's going to touch him. No one's touching him right now, and no one's going to touch him for a while. And I just wanted to make this quick video today and give you a little. People are saying, "Okay, you're getting into all the drama and stuff." That's true. You know, a lot of drama has been going on. But I wanted to talk about this because I've just been watching a lot of the Sammy stuff. With the interviews on the other shows, like he wanted Adam Carolla, who's very right wing. He didn't care. He just wanted Adam Carolla's show, and then he goes on left wing shows. So he has no commitment to anybody. Sammy's about Sammy, and that's it. And people that deal with Sammy should realize that's what Sammy's about. Sammy's about Sammy. I hope that you like the video, and I'm going to put this up, and we'll see what kind of reactions it gets. You know, when you get this, please tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm an asshole. You think I'm wrong. You trolls, write what you're going to write. And I always forget to ask this. Please subscribe, or please hit the like button, not the dislike button. A lot of people hit that lately from the other channel. They seem like they're hitting mine, and now they're hitting FBS's dislike button. So we have a lot of people out there that aren't sure where they stand with any of us. Okay, you guys take care.